We know that the abiotic conditions of many habitats may vary drastically with time. During the course of millions of years, many individuals have evolved the constant internal environment that permits the maximum efficiency of the biochemical reaction and also the physiological function which results in the overall fitness of the species. But some of the organisms maintain the constant internal environment even though when the external environmental condition changes. This is called as homeostasis. For example, a person is able to do his work in the temperature 25 degrees Celsius. When it is extremely hot or cold outside, this condition can be achieved in home, work or in a car by using an air conditioner in the summer or heater in the winter. Here, the person's homeostasis is achieved in artificial means. Now let us see how does the living organism cope up with the situations. Let's look at various possibilities. Now the first one, regulate. Some of the organisms maintain the homeostasis by the means of keeping up the constant body temperature, constant osmotic concentration, etc. Birds, mammals, lower vertebrates and some invertebrate species have the capability of this regulation, that is, thermoregulation and osmoregulation. These are the characteristics of the mammal to live in Antarctica or in Sahara deserts. We humans maintain the constant body temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. In summer, when our body temperature is a bit high, we started to sweat, which will give the cooling effect to the body and bring the temperature down. And in winter, when the body temperature is below than 37 degrees Celsius, we started to shiver, which will increase our body temperature and bring back it to normal. But the plants do not have such mechanism to maintain the constant internal environment. The second one, conforms. We know that majority of plants and animals cannot maintain the constant internal environment. Their body temperature changes according to the ambient temperature. Such plants and animals are called as conformers. Thermoregulation is energetically expensive for many of the organisms. This is true in the case of small animals like hummingbirds, shrews, etc. Some species have the ability to regulate, but only over a limited range of environmental conditions beyond which they simply conform. Now let us see the migrate condition. Some of the animals move from the stressful area to the more hospitable area and return back when the stressful condition is over. For example, some persons move from the Delhi to Shimla in summer, and in winter, some birds from Siberia and some other area move into the Kealador National Park in Bharatpur, Rajasthan, which hosts thousands of migratory birds. Now the last condition, suspend. In some bacteria, fungi and in lower plants, they produce a thick-walled spores in unfavorable condition. These spores germinate in the favorable condition. In higher plants, the seeds and other vegetative reproductive structures are dormant in adverse conditions. They germinate under favorable moisture and temperature. The animals which cannot migrate under stressful condition, they avoid the stress period by escaping in time. For example, bears goes hibernation in winter and some snails and fishes goes to aestivation to avoid the summer heat. Under unfavorable conditions, many zooplanktons in lakes or ponds undergoes a diapause, the stage of suspended development. But some organisms are subjected to physiological or behavioral changes. These responses are called as adaptations. For example, in the absence of external source of water, the kangaroo rats living in North American deserts, they meet their water requirements through internal fat oxidation. It has the ability to concentrate its urine so that minimum amount of water is used to remove excretory products. In many desert plants, the thick cuticle and stomata are arranged in deep pits on leaf surface to avoid the water loss through transpiration. They also have a special photosynthetic pathway called as CAM pathway, which helps the stomata to open in night and close in daytime. Some desert plants like Opuntia, their leaves are reduced into spines and the flatter stems to undergo photosynthesis. Mammals living in colder regions have short ears and limbs to avoid heat loss. This is called as Allen's rule. In the polar seas, the animals like seals have a thick layer of fat under the skin called as blubber, which acts as an insulator which reduces the loss of heat. If you have ever been into higher altitude places like Manali, Manas Sarovar, etc., you might experience altitude sickness. Its symptoms include nausea, fatigue, heart diseases. It is due to the lower atmospheric pressure of higher altitudes so that body does not have enough oxygen. But we gradually get adapted and stop experiencing altitude sickness. It is done by increasing RBC production, decreasing the binding capacity of hemoglobin, and increasing the breathing rate. For example, many of the tribes have the capacity to live in higher altitudes. Many archaebacteria are living in hot springs and deep thermal vents where the temperature is more than 1000 degrees Celsius. Many fishes thrive in Antarctic waters where temperature is below 0 degrees Celsius. Organisms which are living in extreme conditions shows a fascinating array of biochemical adaptations. Some organisms shows behavioral responses to cope up with their environment. For example, desert lizards always keep their body temperature constant. They bask in the sun and absorb heat when the body temperature is low, and they move into shaded region where the body temperature is high. Some of the animal species are burrowed into the soil to escape from the above ground heat.